Hey guys, it's been a while, but I thought it important to make a video. As you noticed from the title, Grief, Guilt, and Precognition, I really wanted to talk about some deep topics. And it's hard for me to talk about because there's a lot of feelings still associated with all of this. And I admittedly struggle with sharing or getting too emotional sometimes. And I'm realizing that's not necessarily the healthiest way to be by bottling up all those feelings. But what also came to me is that I am not the only one. I know that I have colleagues and friends and people I don't even know that may be struggling with this too, and that somewhere, someone out there may need to hear these words. So tomorrow marks 2 weeks since a dear friend was killed in a motorcycle accident, a dear friend of mine and my wife's. And it was on her return trip from our house here in Tucson. We had planned the trip to move our motorcycles from California to Tucson, and it would be basically like our final trip to, bring our motorcycles and the last bits of our belongings from California out to our new house. And we had friends that are like, yeah, I totally want to go with you, and yeah, let's ride. And those are the kind of friends we have. They want to be supportive and amazing. And I was absolutely grateful for them to make that trip to our house. Unfortunately, one of those amazing friends on their return trip to San Diego, California, she didn't make it. We all know riding motorcycles. We all know the dangers. We all know the contract that we energetically sign, understanding and knowing the risks that we accept when we get on those bikes to ride. But we never anticipate such a sudden loss. And that's what it was. A sudden loss of a dear, amazing friend who has a wonderful heart. So not only have I been grieving the loss of my dear and amazing friend, I have been doing my best to support those ladies. And even if it's not through conversation, just energetically, who were with her, who witnessed the accident. And at the same time, what I feel really important to mention is that as a psychic medium, I don't even know if I want to call it a gift right now, because there have been some really, really hard events where I have had precognitive information. One was about our friend Irene before she pulled out of our garage that morning almost 2 weeks ago. I saw and felt and knew in the fibers of my being that she would go down. And my logical brain wanted to dismiss it immediately, thinking, oh, well, you know what, we have a gravel driveway, and she's just gonna, maybe she'll just, it'll get slippery for her, and then she'll just, tip in the driveway on the gravel or something like that. And when it didn't happen in the driveway, I was overjoyed. All of them, right? Anyone that rides a motorcycle really dislikes gravel. It's just, unless you're on a dirt bike. And even then, it's gravel. So I was relieved at first that she stayed on her bike out of the driveway, and but what I didn't know in that moment was that just a few hours later, she would go down. And she would go down on the side in which I thought that I saw that she would, while we were standing in my garage earlier that morning. I have another friend who, I forget that I say things oftentimes to close friends, especially in those moments where spirit steps in and there's an important message and there's something that needs to be said, and it comes through me. It's not about me. It doesn't come from my brain logically. It just comes right through. And when I have those feelings, especially with my closest friends, I know that it's okay to say what comes, because they want to know, because they're open to knowing. I wouldn't do this and just walk up to a stranger and say some of the things that I've said to my friends. I have another friend that who I don't remember, again, it just comes through me, but who I said that it was really important that she get checked out and that she go to the doctor because there was something off about her health. And I indicated on where on her body that would be, and it was very, very important, and that she not ignore it, and that she be diligent about following up and talk to the doctor and do what the doctor said. And so that friend is presented with some health problems, some potentially pretty serious health problems. The word cancer's sort of been bounced around a little. But her issue is exactly where I indicated that it would be, on her physical body. And and this was months and months before any issue had even presented itself. There feels to me a immediate response as a human that wants to say, fuck this shit. I don't want to know anything more. I don't want to see anything more in my head. I don't want to do this anymore. Because it's hard. Because the things that I see and the things that I know before they happen aren't always puppies and kittens and roses and sunshine and all those things are very wonderful. There are things that I know and that I see that aren't necessarily that way. So these last couple of weeks I've been really struggling. 1, moving to a new location. 2, coming to terms with the death of a very dear friend. And 3, this sometimes really fucked up feeling that I just don't want to have this gift anymore. I know that if I make that decision, Spirit will show me very clearly that is a very selfish human response to what is and what I have known my mission to be on this earth. And that is to do my best to ease suffering, to support people in their everyday life, to bring direction and joy and inspiration and love and hope. And hope. Right now, that is my biggest challenge, is to feel hopeful. So anyone out there that is struggling to know if they should keep going, keep going. Even on the days when it makes no sense and you just want to throw up your hands and say, fuck this shit, I don't want to do it anymore. Some way, somehow, it'll all come together. I'm saying that for you. I'm saying that for me. We found out this morning that that my son's been basically missing. For about 2 weeks. he's grown. He's grown. He's a grown man. He's 29 years old. And, I don't even know if missing is the right term. We don't know where he is. We've attempted to contact him. So there are other elements, again, that come into play. That precognition, that seeing, that knowing, that feeling that I just want to push away and not know and not want to see and hope to dear God that I'm wrong. I want to be wrong. I want to be wrong. So, I want to share because it's important, because if I just bottle all this in, I'll lose my mind. And that doesn't do anyone any good. And so I'm realizing that I need to just keep sharing, even if it makes no sense, even if no one has had any experience like this. I'm just being guided to share, so I am. I hope it helps. There's a lot of guilt that I feel. I have felt. Logically, I know that I can separate myself from those feelings. I am not those feelings. I'm not the one that caused any thing to happen. But I do struggle with thoughts of, I should have said more, I should have done more. If I had been more compelling, maybe that would have changed the outcome. That's my heart talking. That's my mind talking. But I know from spirit that everyone has their own personal choice. It's just my job to convey the information. And any guilt or burden that I feel is part of my human experience. I am meant to deal with it. But it sure as hell doesn't make it any easier. Everyone deals with trauma in their own way. There is no right or wrong way to deal with it. What I do know to be true is that there is never a single event or a single person or a single sentence or a single thought that caused these things to happen. We are responsible individually for our own healing. And hopefully the opportunity to support each other with kindness, with understanding, and with love. So wherever you are, whoever you are, treat yourself with kindness and love, and do the same to those around you. I love you. We'll get through this together.